Welcome, Professor Xianli. Now, you work as a scientist for the Californian Foundation of Linguistics and Cryptology. Can you tell us a little bit about your findings on this mysterious civilization, this African civilization, and also how you came to be involved in all of this?
Well, as far as I was concerned, everything started in June 2006 with a German director. I received one day a call from Berlin, and this director was doing a documentary about the fall of the Berlin Wall and the consequences after that. And during his research, he came across a very strange text. So he talked to several specialists in Europe, and they came out saying it's some sort of dialect from Africa, and they thought at the time could be Lingala, some sort of Lingala.
Lingala. Now, can you tell us a little more about this? I'm not familiar with the Lingala language, and what were the concerns at this point?
Well, I use more classical methods of cryptology, so based on the rates, sequences, repetition, in order to come out with a translation. And then what I've done after that is I've tried to meet the director in Germany. The director is doing the documentary, but his assistant told me at the time he was in Istanbul, and I went to Germany and I couldn't meet him at all. And after that, I was trying to meet the director who was doing the documentary in Germany. When I called Berlin, they told me he was away in Istanbul. So I traveled to Berlin anyway in order to see the documentary or the document itself, but no luck. However, someone close from production gave me access to a document. I could make a copy of it, and surprisingly, it was a Russian document with a Lingala sentence inside of a Russian document, and it was issued from an American archives, which was very, very strange.
Right, so I see what you mean. What about the actual text? How did you get hold of this document? Tell me more about the document that you found this in.
Well, the Lingala is the dialects spoken along the Congo River, and to understand the complexity of Lingala, well, first of all, it's just spoken dialects, and it's a mixed of spoken dialects, and it wasn't written until late 19th century and beginning of the 20th century, when European missionaries came and tried to create a new alphabet for this Lingala. Unfortunately, because it's so difficult to travel from one part to another, with all the missionaries around, they couldn't do a standard and one-piece alphabet for the same language. So if you're going from one part to another, I mean, there's a different spelling, and they are not using the same vocabulary, and there's like local and regional changes. And for instance, to sum up, there is a classical Lingala, there's a more popular Lingala, there's Lingala from Brazzaville and Lingala from Kinshasa, and those are the main Lingala dialects. There's more, of course, but to tell you, it's quite tricky to understand and to be able to translate. Oh yeah, yes, of course. And then they did the production send me over the copy of this text in the so-called Lingala. And I received a text, and excuse me for pronunciation, as we don't know it does well, it should be pronounced anyway. It says, "Enva me ai bila, moi jatu aluje, pamok, pukafa, kafa kafa." So, I mean, I was able to see that it has to do with Lingala, but not the classical Lingala or the other any other form of Lingala. Well, to me, that was one of the maybe ancient dialects or unknown dialects from that part of the world, and that was very fascinating. I was very amazed to come across such a text. There's like two major events who can explain how we could have access to it. First, it was in 1989 with the fall of the Berlin Wall, and his documentary is talking about the Berlin Wall. So all the archives from the Stasi, the secret police, were given more or less to West Germany, and some of them were sold on the black market. And funny enough, the CIA bought the Lingala text, and then during 10-20 years nobody heard about the text. And then the second revolution, the second event was with the internet. As you know, there is hackers and pirates on the web, and one major website, to name it, it's WikiLeaks, just dropped thousands of files from the American administrations and found that bit of information, published it, but nobody knew what it was all about, except that it was a Russian document stolen from the American administration with a Lingala inside. And that's how the German director came across that piece of information. He took it away and he didn't know what to do with it. That's why he called me. I was able to prove that that was some sort of password or a key to an Egyptian text, and used only by a small group of insiders from Congo. In fact, they were like forced labor during the time of Pharaoh, and they gained great power knowing about the text and the use of that specific dialect. And then they decided to, they found something. I'm not too sure yet. I mean, at the time I wasn't sure yet. And in order to keep this secret and the knowledge and the power, they just took part of the text away and ran away back to the Congo River. And they are transmitting this sentence from one generation to another.